keep bringing up a one-on-one. That's not what it's about.
We are breaking down the biggest moments from the mid-season Bachelor trailer. Hi everyone, welcome back into another shared news. It's hard to believe we're already halfway through the season of The Bachelor and we have the mid-season trailer to break down for you today. But before we get into it, if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any Bachelor Nation updates. As always, I'm your host, Morgan Wright, joined today by Kayla Thompson. Kayla, can you believe we're already halfway through?
Listen, last night I was like, wait, there's only like 9 women left. How did we get here? Like, it's been, I don't know. It's just been like a whirlwind, I guess. Like, we're here and I'm excited.
We're here and it just now is starting to get good. I feel like the past couple episodes have been a little bit boring, but it always starts to get better when you get into the home stretch of seeing hometown dates and, of course, fantasy suites. So, like usual, we're going to break down the next trailer, but instead of it just being a week, it's actually the mid-season trailer. And we're going to do it a little differently today, Kayla. We're going to start at the end because we did get some never before seen footage of Zach and what appears to be his final rose ceremony. So let's start there and then we'll go back to the beginning.
It's been a heartbreaking journey, but I found my love. I've caused pain and I've made mistakes.
Okay, so here he is in a blue suit, and we know that the final destination that they went to is Thailand. Now, am I just remembering things incorrectly, or is this really the first time we're seeing that final rose ceremony in a preview?
No, this is the first time we're seeing this shot of him in Thailand in this suit with the final ring. I think before we saw like what seemed like just a stock like video that they shot like maybe in kind of one of the European destinations they were at that, you know, they kind of use it just in case they don't make it to the final rose ceremony. That was what we saw, you know, in the first huge preview of the season.
Yeah, and continuing on here, we do see that Zach is going to go through a little bit of a heartbreak, but hopefully it's going to lead to his happily ever after. Let's keep watching.
My mind and my heart have been pulled in separate directions. But standing here with the ring, I just hope that it's all worth it.
Okay, so yes, this is giving us a lot, right? He goes through a potentially really bad breakup. He's got the ring. He's ready to propose. But is this almost too much of a reaction for a breakup where you think this is not really going to go down as smooth as we think it might?
You know what? I think it really tracks with Zach throughout the season. He's been extremely like emotional and his heart has been kind of on his sleeve. And also, I think with the, I don't know, each woman, he's been super present and like really, I don't know. I feel like I have a couple of, you know, of front runners of people that I think can make it to the end, but I'm not sure if I have like, this is my winner. So I think Zach is going to have a really hard decision to make. I think his final two is going to be tough for him to like really choose. And at least to break up with one of them, it's going to really, really hurt because he's really been giving 100% with each person, from my opinion. So I think that's kind of what we're getting here.
Yeah, I agree. He really is putting his all out there. His heart is 100% in it. So I know you said we haven't really narrowed down who we think the final two are going to be. Maybe we get through this trailer and figure it out together. And I want to remind you, Kayla, that the past two seasons, Gabby and Rachel, and then also Clayton's season, we haven't even gotten to this point. I mean, when you think about the last Bachelorette season, everybody went home and Gabby and Rachel were just kind of left with the final man standing. Same with Clayton and what went down with Susie. I think the last big breakup that we got on a final rose ceremony day was between Michelle and Brandon, which was super emotional and hard to watch. So if this breakup is anything like that breakup, I think we're going to be in for a tough season finale. But let's go ahead and start at the very beginning and see if we can figure out who their final two are going to be.
Zach's worldwide quest for love continues.
I get used to this.
It's passionate.
There's this spark that I feel when I see her.
Romantic.
I can say I am falling.
Okay, so we know where they're going, right? They're going to Estonia, they're going to Thailand, they're going to Budapest, and we see 3, maybe 4 girls in this first little clip. Gabby, Katie, Charity, and I think it might be Catherine at one point, but you can't really tell her face. Um, those are
Yeah.
my final three. And I think that Charity is kind of
Okay.
too late to the game at this point. So I feel like Gabby and Katie could potentially be the final two. Do you have any thoughts about this showing those three first right off the bat here?
Yeah. No, I I was trying not to laugh when that first clip just played because I feel like they just told me who the final two were right here in
Yeah.
this clip. Because I
Yeah.
think from what we just saw, of Zach at the last podium, he's in Thailand. I think Thailand is clearly the last destination. This shot we're looking at right now is absolutely Gabby and Zach on a beach. This is Thailand. And then we saw who I think is Katie in the pool or in a lake or some sort with him. So I
Mhm.
think you're right. I think those are his final two. Charity, I'm not sure, and Catherine, I'm not sure where they kind of land. So I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. This is going to be a hard, yeah. I don't know, like our predictions of like it being a hard breakup. It's starting to line up because those two are definitely the main front runners. I think.
Yeah, they definitely are. And I think even as we get further into this trailer, we start to see some of the other girls realize that as well and kind of react to it.
Mm.
So let's move on to our next clip.
And a little bit wild.
We are at a nudist sauna.
Enjoy
I came here to fight.
Okay, just very quickly, because we know that Ariel goes on this date to a nudist sauna. Would you ever want to go on that date? Because that is like my worst nightmare.
No, I don't think that date fits me at all. But funny enough, I think it fits Ariel pretty well. Like, I feel like it goes with her energy, her vibe. She's kind of like sultry like that. So I'm like, oh, that's perfect for her. But me? Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's going to be a no for us here at Shared News, but I'm happy that Ariel just kind of goes with it. I don't think Ariel's getting her one-on-one date a little too late in the game for her to be final two, but I think
Mm.
she will be fantastic on Bachelor in Paradise, and that's going to be my one
Oh, yeah.
prediction for the day.
Agreed. And by the way, just to, reiterate, I think we're onto something. This is definitely Gabby and Zach on a boat in Thailand, giving very much final two. So yeah.
Okay, you guys are so much better at this than me because, like, I can barely see that. How do you know that that's Thailand? Maybe I just need to, like, look at YouTube videos more often of these places that they go to so I have a better eye for it. But good shout out,
Mm,
Kayla. Let's keep
you know
watching this
me.
next clip.
And right now, my heart is pounding because it's here and it's real.
You have this special way of making me feel really seen and like chosen.
Okay, so more aerial shots, more kissing shots, and it seems like this. I'm gonna take a guess and say that this
Mhm.
one-on-one date between Charity and Zach is gonna happen in the very next episode since their last one got canceled. And this to me looks like Estonia. I'm not entirely sure because, like I said, I've never been there before. So this is interesting though, because like we said, this whole week got ruined in London because Zach got
Mhm.
COVID. Do you think a week kind of ruined Charity's chances to make it to the end? Because we are starting to get down to the wire here, it feels like.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I think when I was watching the episode on Monday, for me, when Charity said, I'm a little afraid that if I don't have this date with Zach, it's like I'm going to fall behind and lose time. And I think it was so ominous because I feel like she's right. Like, I think this is all about time. It's all about timing. And there's plenty of people who had sparks with Zach early on or throughout, and then stuff just started kind of fading. And I feel like Charity having this one-on-one date potentially right before hometowns, like you said earlier with Ariel, it could be a little too late. But I don't know. I'm not sure how many more episodes we have until hometowns, because we also see that Katie's getting a second one-on-one. So there's still, we're missing a couple pieces to the puzzle, but I feel for Charity. There's a clip later in this huge trailer that I'm like, oh no, that's my girl. I don't want her to get hurt, but I just don't know if she'll make it past final four at least. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there are that core group of women that are getting a lot of screen time, Charity being one of them, Gabby, Katie. But there
Hmm.
are some other ones that have strong connections with Zach too, like Jess and Brooklyn. And I know we'll see a little bit
Yeah.
more of them next. And I was really surprised by something I saw later with the conversation with Jess and Zach. So let's go ahead and see if something like that is in our next clip.
I feel like I'm the only girl in this world right now.
The feeling of falling in love. It makes my heart flutter. It makes me choke up on my words when I think of you.
That makes me feel so happy.
Okay, so we already know that him and Katie really like each other. Jess, we never see her get a one-on-one date in this trailer, and she mentions it a little bit later. So I want to save my thoughts until that comes. It's clear that they're into each other, but it's like, what's
Mhm.
the reason behind him not giving her that opportunity? But save your thoughts, Kayla, because I want to hear it when we get
Yeah.
to that part of the trailer.
Okay. I'm with you. Yeah, for sure.
I could absolutely see a future with you.
You mean the world to me. And being able to fall in love with you has been nothing short of amazing.
Okay,
Mm.
so surprises coming here from Brooklyn. Ariel gets a little
Mhm.
firework action. Do you see either Brooklyn or Ariel final rose material for Zach?
I don't. And watching that little clip of Brooklyn and him at the table where she's getting teary, it's clear that she gets another one-on-one date, which is great. I think here we can now confirm that there's at least 2 more episodes before Hometowns, because next week we've got Charity and maybe Ariel with a one-on-one, something like that, or at least them two getting a one-on-one and then Katie getting a second one-on-one, and now we have Brooklyn. So in this clip with Brooklyn, I think that this is her getting broken up with. And I think she puts herself completely out there with Zach, saying she's in love with him. I think the shot of Zach after this is like it's a fake out. I think this is maybe a different clip of him on another date with someone else, because yeah,
Mhm.
her face is giving sad. Like I think she's getting broken up with. And even her saying, the opportunity to fall in love with you was amazing or whatever, is actually more of a negative kind of a closure situation than the other way around. You tracking with me? Am I making sense at all?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's what I'm
And it's
getting. Okay.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting too because everybody that's been on a one-on-one has gotten a rose at this point, and it's like it
Hmm.
comes to a time where you can't just give them out to everybody, even if you have like the
Exactly.
slightest attraction or thought that there could be something there. So I'm with you. I also thought while watching this that this scene might have been a little bit pieced together. And Brooklyn brings the
Hmm.
tears, but she's not the only ones because we're getting into the crying portion of the trailer. They probably have
Oh,
a minute
yeah.
worth of tears from all these women. So let's see who is crying next.
I can confidently say I know my wife is here, but someone's gonna get hurt regardless.
This is just so up.
Yeah, so we have Catherine, we have Jess, we have Charity. Did you want to say why you think Charity was crying? Is this your conspiracy theory?
I don't know if I have a conspiracy. I think we might have to see the next clip after, for me to fully give my conspiracy on why I think Charity could be crying. It's not good though. but
Okay, let's
but
do
yes,
it.
you were
Next
right. A
clip.
lot of
Roll the
tears
tape.
from a
I
lot of
need to
people.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my god. We all have developed feelings for Zach. We're all scared to lose him.
I'm terrified.
Sidebar, first time we're seeing Allie. The whole entire
My gosh.
trailer. There have been
So
some
true.
women that have been done so
Mhm.
dirty. I think Allie was done really dirty. Mercedes, like, did she even talk
Mm.
one time until this last episode? So, I mean, they're
No.
kind of
I
editing it in a
know.
way to make us not look at, these women as front runners, don't you think?
Yeah. I think so, but I think with Allie, I think it might just be, the nature of it, because I think she was just an early front runner for Zach that ended up
Mm.
not really having as much depth or as much kind of, solidity as it could have. So I think, I don't see Allie going far. I think that's why she's not being shown. But It's just I keep seeing Charity cry, and it's just, I can't. It's hurting me.
Do we need to continue? Are there more
Let's
clips
continue,
before we can
please.
find out what you're thinking? Okay.
I think so. Yes.
At the end of this, it's not me.
Jealousy is a very ugly color on people.
He kissed the man before she went on her one-on-one.
If I want to spend a moment with him, I'm gonna.
Okay. So
Yep. Here it is.
we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I want to
Mhm.
say, where the new editing phase, I would say, is that these villains come in waves, right? First wave was Christina, second wave was maybe Kylie, and now we're coming into our third wave of who is a villain, and it's looking like Catherine. I wanted to ask, can you
Mhm.
tell who Zach is kissing in the shower? Because, I'm not as good as spotting these things, but it looks like dark hair, and, Gabby is seen here talking about people being jealous. Do you have any idea on who this
Mhm.
is?
My first guess is that it's Ariel during
Mm.
the sauna date, and they're kind of
Oh,
throwing it in
yes.
here, making it seem like it's, yeah, like something intimate, in Zach's room or something. But I think it's actually just a date with Ariel is my guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, the point about Catherine, this is where I think, okay, we see Brooklyn, say to Catherine, you kissed this man before she went on her one-on-one date, and they cut to Charity. Now, it could be a fake out that they're cutting to Charity, but I think just seeing Charity cry and get emotional about, like, I'm terrified it's not me, and her kind of
Mm.
having these fears, which are totally natural and fair, but I think that could be Catherine kind of going after, what she wants, going to see Zach right before, Zach maybe feeling bad about doing that before his date with Charity. I don't know. That's like where my brain was going with this, with my with my Charity theory
Okay.
of why she's so upset. But then again, it could just be, like we've been saying, the nature of it all. All these girls are, they're really feeling for Zach. So I think it's just the natural fear of it just couldn't be, it might not be me at the end. But
I love a
Catherine as a
conspiracy
villain is
theory.
interesting.
I love it. I'm here for it. We're going to go for it, and we're going to mark it down as another one of our predictions. And we've been right about a lot of our predictions so far. So
We
I'm putting
have.
my trust in you, Kayla. I agree. And side note, this really needs no explanation, but is Charity not the
Mm,
prettiest crier you've ever seen in your life? I'm like, how can she look so
gorgeous.
stunningly beautiful while tears are streaming down her face? Like 1 inch of her
It's
makeup
so
is not out of
true.
place. I'm a Charity stan. I
So
can't help
true.
it. I mean, look
I
at, I
know.
mean,
We've been
model.
since day one.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really have.
flawless. And just, yeah,
Literally.
flawless.
Okay, let's keep moving forward with this midseason trailer.
Have your head up your ass.
I don't have time for this. Lunatic.
I'm upset that I haven't gotten a one-on-one.
You keep bringing up a one-on-one. That's not what it's about. I'm at a loss.
Oh, this one hurts. This was the point of the trailer where I was like, wait, what? Because we've seen Zach
Mhm.
be open, vulnerable, but in this past
Mhm.
episode he had a little bit of, in my opinion, like a snap moment when it
Mm.
came to Greer. I thought Zach really overreacted
Mhm.
and was kind of rude to her for,
Mhm.
no real good reason. And I'm getting the same vibe here. Like Jess is obviously upset that she hasn't had a one-on-one, and his reaction to that is, that's not what this is about." Then what is it about? If
Mm.
you're not going on dates with each other, you're clearly
Totally.
not gonna get engaged. So what do you think he meant by that?
Exactly. Girl, this is Zach. Okay, let me just start here. I think Zach is he's getting tired. I think he's getting a little fussy. I think, it's a lot of travel, it's a lot of filming, it's like long days, short nights. So let's just keep that in mind. But yeah, I think that this is Zach giving Jess a very BS answer. It's obvious that if you have not wanted to give me a one-on-one date yet, then I'm not going to be in the final, like, I'm not the one,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And him saying like, well, that's not what it's about. I mean, it totally could come off like, this isn't about you getting validation of a one-on-one date. It's about what I want, which is kind of what I feel like we were getting the energy from with Greer of like, this is about this is about me finding a wife. He kind of like, I don't know, he's getting very Bachelor-y with us right now.
Mm.
But yeah, I think he's not being fair to Jess. Honestly, even going back to Greer, I think he he definitely overreacted. And I almost feel like he should apologize to Greer because he really made her feel bad for like nothing. But yeah,
Yeah.
with Jess, it's like, he's definitely BSing her, and she has every right to be upset and to bring the issue to him and for him to kind of respond that way. I'm interested to see the entire conversation between the two. But I think in the next clip, we might see her response being not what he expected.
I mean, let's be real. All of these women, well, probably the majority of them, have seen an episode of The Bachelor once in their day, and they know if you don't get a one on one, you're not going to end up with the guy at the end of it. And it's like, if you don't get a one on one, do you even feel comfortable accepting a proposal at the end of this?
Mm,
No way. There's never
yeah.
been a season of The Bachelor when someone did not get a one on one date and they ended up, winning, engaged to the lead at the end. So, let's look out for Jess's reaction to this conversation in the next clip.
For words just happened. I was not expecting that.
I'm ready to take that next step with you.
This is an act of love.
Okay, so you think Jess self eliminates?
I do. I think just piggybacking off of what we just said, like, yeah, Zach's response is such BS because it's like, how is it not about a one-on-one date? Like the one-on-one date, you deciding that you want to spend an entire day with me is a reflective of how you feel about me, like how you see us. And if you're not willing to give that time to me, but to someone like Katie, who's already had a one-on-one date, then it says everything right there that this is not, you don't feel the same way that I do. So I might as well just leave right now. So I feel like that's what I would do. That's what I'm hoping that she does, because when girls or guys like in the season, when contestants just kind of wait around to be broken up with, holding on to this like tiny little string of hope, I'm like, it's not worth it to me. You might as well just go on your own accord.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Especially this late in the game. I agree with you. I think she kind of saw the writing on the wall and thought, I'd rather just
Exactly.
leave than have to wait around through another rose ceremony. At the end of that clip, we
Right.
start to maybe get an
Mhm.
inclination of some fantasy suite drama where he says it's not an act of
Mhm.
lust, it's an act of love. So let's keep watching and see if we can figure anything else out here.
Not lost. I'm sorry.
What am I doing?
I feel like I let myself down, and I feel like I let the women down.
Okay. So this is the last clip. We see Greer walking
Mhm.
away, pretty hastily. We see Katie in
Mhm.
tears in what I think would be Thailand, the final, two place. So it would make sense that if something did happen in the fantasy suite and this could be potentially a reaction to Zach, making a mistake or doing something. He does say, at the end, I've made a lot of mistakes and whatever. Do
Mhm.
you think that Katie's going to be
Mhm.
impacted by some fantasy suite drama? That's what they're kind of making it seem like here.
Right. No, I think absolutely. I think at this point anyone would once you get down to the final 3, especially if you're final 2, like I think maybe what's happening here is that Zach might be being honest with her that maybe he also slept with someone else and it wasn't, like he's saying, wasn't an act of lust, it was act of love. I don't know. I'm trying to piece it together. I think we both are. But yeah, I think it's okay for Katie to question things if that's kind of what, he's bring the information he's bringing to her. But yeah, there's a lot of missing pieces here. Because yeah, they're even trying to kind of fake us out even earlier with like showing Brooklyn and then showing him laying down with someone else, and it's
Yeah.
giving mixed signals. And yeah, I think with Greer though, let me just say, I think with Greer, I think we saw it coming from miles and miles away that he's probably just breaking up with her like before we even get to hometowns. Like this is like probably even next week. I don't know. She's
Yeah.
not getting a one-on-one date. There's no footage of that. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. But yeah, what do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, Greer, this looks like a very casual setting. It looks like maybe she went to visit him in his room, and that's when he kind of broke things off with her. There's a lot
Mhm.
missing from this trailer as well. Obviously, they can't show us stuff from hometown dates, they can't show us stuff
Mhm.
from fantasy suites. So there's still a lot of unanswered questions. I feel like Katie definitely from this trailer is going to be in the final two because we're getting a lot of those dramatic moments involving her. Like I've said a million times, it looks like those
Mhm.
dramatic moments from her are coming in Thailand. So we know that's the
Yeah.
final, Rose location. So any
Mhm.
other, predictions, thoughts, comments before we wrap this one up?
I'm like hesitant to say it because it literally just came to me as you were talking about Katie. But I think like the fact that Katie is so heavily shown in this trailer, clearly in
Mm,
Thailand, and the shots that we know are Gabby were very wide shots, shots where we can't really see her face, but we know it's her because we're pros and we remember prior previews. I'm
mm.
going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say I think Zach is going to choose Gabby. I think they want us to think that it's Katie, Katie, Katie. But I think even from the last episode, Morgan, like I was like, those two together, it made
Yeah.
sense to me. And now watching this trailer, I'm like, I think it's going to be Gabby. So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. My final prediction for his final pick is
I agree with you.
Gabby.
They're always trying to misdirect. So it's just like you said, if they're
Exactly.
showing us Katie this much and they're barely showing us Gabby, but we know they do have such a strong connection, I almost feel like they're the
Mm,
same person in two different bodies. Like you can just
so
tell they
true.
really get along. They even kind of look
They
alike to
get
me,
each
which is
other.
a little bit weird, but we won't go there. Um, Let us
Yeah.
know your comments, your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. What you think of the season so far, who you think the final rose will go to. We love to hear from our Shared News family, so make sure you do so before you go. Subscribe to our channel and like this video so you never miss out on a Bachelor Nation update. We'll be back with more predictions. I can guarantee you that. I'm Morgan, joined with Kayla Thompson. Our social media handles are on the screen now, and we will see you back here next time. Bye, everyone.